All right, I think it seems to be working now on YouTube. So I am hosting this on YouTube now, just trying it for once, because I don't think it's working on X for some reason. Yeah, I don't think it seems to be working on X. Yeah, I can't create it. So, all right, so won't be having on X today. But what is this? Sorry. Okay, sorry. This seems to be another glitch here. Just one second. Trying to understand very quickly what is going on. Okay. Let me try one last time. Let me just try one last time. It's a bit weird after yesterday's attack on X. Let me see if this works now. Oh, it doesn't work. It is very weird. Oh. Okay, what's going on? Let's try this. Sorry, just the one-man show, so just need to see if this works. Yes. Oh, success. Okay, so it works. All right, so here's the link. All right, then I'll host it on both sides then. Okay, but let me just put the link for you guys. Let me put the link on both sides. Okay, I think if I go back here, yes, it works. Okay, technical glitches. Okay, so I'm now hosted on both sides. So just let it be. Well, welcome to the Zeall Show, episode 34, where all the shows are unedited, unfiltered, uncensored, and unscripted. The only line that is scripted is the line that I'm saying. I am doing these shows because, one, I really hate doing all the high-flying professional editing. Two, I am using this show to actually do the clips so that I don't need to edit. And three, it's for me to read the morning news every day. And I've coded up a AI agent for myself where it will find the most relevant news that for me to read, as well as share with the people that are on X with me. So this is great. I will now go and see what I have here. What did the AI agent give me today? Okay, so first thing is that the Bitcoin book, it is still on sale now. I will still have it on for until the end of the month. Already getting some people are trying to do the reviews and asking me some questions now, so that is definitely good news. And two is that I have my two channels up and running. My two channels up and running. The Leadership Digest channel. Let me just get that out for you to see. Full view here. Let me just, a lot of glitches today. Yep, so I have the leadership channel. Just want to share this with you guys. Getting a few extra subscribers now, so thank you. So I have this up, just put up yesterday. It's a 49-minute workshop that I did on the ebook that I've written, which you can get it for free if you go into the YouTube link. Excuse me, and then write in the comments, I want my ebook, and I'll give you a link so that you can get the ebook for free. or you can get it in Amazon. Okay, so inside here, I have 7 strategies on how to help you with yourself, even yourself. If you want to lead when talking to people, you don't have to have a particular position to talk to people, and it will help you with how you decide, how you think, how you communicate with others. And I'm thinking of, I have a lot to share. I'm thinking of writing a ebook every 2 to 3 weeks or so, and then do a whole masterclass on it, just like this one. So yeah, so this is my first one, and I hope to keep it as long as I can, because I have a lot of leadership experiences that I want to share, and I think it's very important for everyone to learn, especially in today's day and age where we're always on our devices and we are not really communicating with people. So I hope this can give you some hacks to help you fast track the pace for you to go and talk to others with ease and receive feedback with ease as well, right? Yeah, something is really wrong with X today. Like I can't. Usually, what happens is there's definitely some delays when I'm actually on my cell phone, my mobile phone. I can open up the live very quickly, but yeah, so something's not right today. But it's okay. So have a look at this. I will. There's a lot to talk about, and I will hopefully be adding value to all of you. So it's not just about my book, my ebooks, and so on. Okay. So my next thing I want to talk about is, I think we can go straight to the articles. So let me just open them up. This is what my AI agent told me to talk about. Okay, so let me just click on it. Click on this one and click on this one, this one, this one, this one. Yeah, these 5. Okay, interesting that they it pointed these 5 for me. Okay, so I haven't even checked the Bitcoin prices, so now I'll go and check, since we're talking about the price, what's actually going on right now. Let me have a look. Whoa, going down. Going down. Look at this. If some of you know, I had this line drawn for quite a while, right? And then if it breaks and this becomes a support and resistance, we're really in deep danger. And it became true. Not a good thing, but it bounced. So it was a support here. Now it became the support, the resistance, right? So this became the resistance. The next point to really look at if it's a support or resistance is at this level, right? It's at this level, so around 72. We're really heading towards there, as we mentioned. We were talking about this since here already. So that was like 2 months ago. So yeah, I only look at simply just I added Bollinger Bands, yes, but it's just for me to see when it starts squeezing. So like at this point, right, at this point I thought it was squeezing, but it didn't squeeze. This point squeezed, and it's now heading towards, it should be heading towards 70 and bouncing between these 2 levels. Yeah, would it go any lower? I'm not sure, but this level is a very strong resistance. So as in this particular point, there's a lot of buy and sell orders at this particular point around 72. So if some whales scoop up all the orders somehow on either side, we may go down lower. But for now, we're definitely looking at towards 72. Okay, but what is this article talking about? Past week, it dropped from 93,000 down to 80. Yes, panic selling, according to Marcus Thielen, CEO of Market Advisory. The recent selling activity in Bitcoin has come from investors who bought the Bitcoin in the past 3 months. remember reading a post saying that it was the past 1 month. Now it's the past 3 months. So it's really trying to shake off longer term holders. Slightly longer term, right? Like 3 months. Is it linked to what the US policy and Trump's role? Not really. Well, we don't know. We need to see, right? So first, the thing that I will also then compare will be the S&P 500, right? So if we look at here, let's just remove the Bollinger Bands. Okay, let's remove the Bollinger Bands. Hide this first. And then put the support and resistance. So this was definitely a support and resistance. You see, it's very similar, right? Right. If you look at the Bitcoin price, right, there was a support and resistance for a while. S&P 500 was doing the same. So now we just need to see how far it's going to bounce down, bounce from a low. We don't know where the low is, right? This wick is a hint, but it may be invalidated by the next daily candle. This is a daily chart, but I don't know. So this one I don't know, but this line is very important. So if it bounces back up here around 5,007, I think it is big. Yeah. So if I put the S&P SPX next to it, I know it's very hard to see because the bounces are similar. You see, it's going down around the same, right? And then it was sideways for this whole period as well, right? So it's literally still following the S&P 500, right? But now it broke away. This pink line is the I can't move it. This pink line here is the S&P 500. You can see a support resistance on this. I'm going to see if I can change the color so it's easier to see. Style. Let's put it yellow, okay? So this is the support resistance for the S&P 500, and it broke through. Now we need to know if it bounces up, is it going to touch the resistance and come back up, or it's going to break through? I'm not. This is obviously I don't predict. I'm just looking at through observations. But even through the this part, when I was looking at it, we were also observing whether it will go up or down. And if it does go down, we're gonna go lower, right? And this particular candle, we can see that no matter what Trump does at the crypto summit, you can't stop the market trying to correct by itself. But this is definitely led by S&P 500 and not really because of Trump's policies or didn't fulfill the promise what he's going to do. It's nothing to do with that. Whatever is written here is really just news. It's not really that the price was meant to go down along with S&P 500 anyway. Okay. Next is, I'm not paying for Bloomberg anymore. So what's this paywall? How energy independence change geopolitics? Is there a, let me check if there is a piece here that I can click through X to get it. So I get all my news through X anyway. So I don't want to click on anything else. No, there isn't any. Okay, so I need to tell the AI if it's a paywall article, then I won't. We will just ignore that. All right. Nah, I'm not going through that. Okay, but this is maybe I can also give my reaction to this. If you look at the way that, Trump is negotiating with the different leaders, you can see that he is really using all his skills that he has mentioned inside the art of the deal. All right. One is giving out crazy offers. Like, for example, if you're negotiating a particular property, his way of doing it is give a very, very drastically low price and let the other side say to you that, oh my God, that guy is crazy. And then they cool off. The other side would then think, oh my gosh, why did Trump say this? Is it because we really put it at a very high price? Maybe we should negotiate down. Right? So one of his strategies is to give out crazy, unrealistic offers to really change the dynamics of the negotiation. Right? And if the other side flinches, Trump has the advantage. Right? So he's definitely using that when he's talking to Zelensky about the Ukraine-Russia war, right? And with this, he is also trying to get more bargaining chips, because if you activate the U.S. energy for exports, then Russia doesn't really have has one less card on the table, because Russia cannot say anymore, well, you will need to use our energy, you will need to, because you're not exporting. But now, US is in the market to export and compete alongside Russia, right? So Russia cannot use this card to say that we have an edge. We have an edge over commodities, because they don't have it now, right? So now Trump not only has an edge on energy, also has an edge on finances as well, as he recently said he was not happy with the bombing that is happening between Russia and Ukraine, and Russia's pushing it very hard. So he's planning to put in sanctions to get both of them at the table. So you see, the way that Trump uses sanctions is very different from the old Biden's administration. Biden was really trying to strangle with the partners, to strangle Russia, to show that we have the power. Okay, you don't play with us. We are the bigger bully than you. Whereas Trump is doing it to tell them, look, I'm doing this, but if you come to the table, we can sort this out. Every single action that he does is about negotiating at the table, no matter if it's the tariffs, no matter if it's sanctions. Is exactly that. For example, he was quite happy. Well, I won't say happy. He got it his way when he asked the Mexican president to come to the table to talk. Right? The tariffs are meant for that. It's not really meant for cash, to earn extra cash. He keeps saying that yes, it will be a lot more money, and then the U.S. will be very rich. But he values negotiation more than the cash flow, because once you have a deal that is win-win, it's much better than a fight that is going to be win-lose. Especially with Canada now, I actually don't fully understand why both parties have to go fight head-to-head with the U.S. This doesn't make sense. You are of a country of 60 million people, and in terms of resources, I don't think U.S. is of any lesser than Canada, right? So I don't understand why they're fighting head-to-head. The only reason that I can think Pierre is doing that is just to show up votes, and then once he wins the position as the prime minister, then things will change. Then somehow he will need to get the narrative right to talk to Trump and get back on the negotiation table, because it really doesn't make sense to go head-to-head with the U.S. Both sides will lose, but I don't think U.S. will lose as much compared to Canada. So the main point is it still holds. I've been saying it since before his election days, right? The whole narrative everywhere, the media keeps saying that, oh, he's doing tariffs, he's going to hurt the economy. No, his tariffs are to get people to the negotiation table. Okay, it is not to try to earn extra cash. But if you do want to fight with the U.S., be his guest, right? Be his guest to do it. He is happy to fight that, but that is not his main aim. Yeah, so I see this a lot is going to change. So I hope the politicians are smart enough to not go head to head, because that is not what he's after. But if you do plan to go head to head, you're going to have more problems than the US. This is my personal perspective. All right, next, what is this? Political stagnation in Libya. Geopolitical implications threaten regional stability. Since the fall of Gaddafi regime in 2011, Libya has been trapped in a cycle of political and security conflicts. Oh well, whenever US attacks and goes in, they never really fix anything. So I'll go the faster way. I will ask Grok what this is about. And I hope Grok works. What is this link about? You know, I'm teaching my kids the same, or anyone, even my partners, that if you're doing anything today and you are there to show off your knowledge, you're going to lose, because AI already has the knowledge. Today, knowledge is really worth $0, right? But if you are there to show your experience, give your reaction, in a, I won't say emotional way, but in a way that is non-AI, that is where the value is. It's exactly what I'm doing now. But I will not pretend to know more than anyone. If I don't know, then I will check on Grok. Like, I will check on, actually, I don't even use ChatGPT now. It's still a little clunky using Grok, because usually on ChatGPT, I will have the custom GPTs. They would know what they need to do, but on Grok, every time I will need to set up the persona. Like, imagine you're a YouTube content creator. Imagine you're a social media expert. I would do that. I have to do that every time on Grok, but I don't want to spend an extra $20 on ChatGPT when I'm only using it like now, when Grok was down yesterday. Anyway, I digress. But what I'm trying to say is, for knowledge, I don't aim to show that I am the expert at this. Whoever does that, they are on the losing end, because the one that's the expert are the AIs now. Okay, so what is this article about? This article examines the ongoing political and security challenges in Libya following the fall of Gaddafi. Yes, like to explore the root cause of Libya. Okay, so why is my AI agent telling me this? Analysis of political issues in Libya impact regional stability. Okay, so it's asking me to analyze the regional impact, which also means then the maps. Okay, so Libya, Google Maps. I'm using Bing here. I forgot to change. Okay, but this for the fun of it. I don't think it makes a big difference. Okay, so if you look at the map, Libya has a very big access shoreline to the Mediterranean Sea. Right, so if business were to go into Africa, so I think the question is to ask, why is Libya an important part for the economic growth within North Africa? I think that is a better question to ask. Excuse me. Do you think, so why do you think Libya impacts the growth of the region in Africa? It says that from its prolonged instability, which acts as a destabilizing force with economic security and geopolitical ripple effects. Here's a breakdown of why this happens based on the situation outlined in the IRIS. Okay, the security fallout is massive. Libya has become a form of arms trafficking. Yes, in terms of going left and right between Algeria and Egypt, it's actually not that good. especially when Algeria, Tunisia, and Egypt, and these countries, I don't know about these if they have good security, would need to really strengthen their border with Libya, right? Because they don't want them trafficking to their countries. It invites foreign meddling, which complicates the region. Powers like Turkey, Russia, and the UAE back opposing sides, turning Libya into a proxy battleground. Oh, I see. So mini wars are still fighting around here. And Egypt not only has to deal with Libya on their borders, they also have to deal with Israel and the current war that they have. Well, I can feel the strain that Egypt has on their security and military right now. I see. Okay. Economically, Libya's stagnation stalls regional integration. There were plans for regional integration. The African Development Bank has highlighted how North Africa's GDP growth lags partly due to disruption, projecting a modest 4%. Okay, so yeah, true. Libya is definitely making the North African side very strained. But I really don't know how this is going to be solved. And it's definitely not in US's interest to solve this part of the world yet, as they are focusing on the Israel war with Hamas right now. And then the other time we're talking about Iraq, yeah, it seems like this region is much more steady, even though there's a war that's happening, much more steady than this side. Libya really has no leadership at all. It's not, politically, it's definitely not steady compared to Iraq as of this stage. Very interesting. Okay, good to know. What's next? What's this? We talked about this. Yep, we talked about Bitcoin already. Geopolitics of critical minerals. What is this one about? Trans-Pacific View author Mercy Kuo regularly engages. Okay, no, explain the role. Okay. Again, shortcut it. Give me the summary of this article. This piece highlights how the shift to clean energy is fundamentally a materials transition, with technologies like batteries, wind turbines, and electric vehicles requiring minerals such as lithium, cobalt, nickel, and rare earth elements. Okay, it delves into the U.S.-China rivalry's impact on mineral supply chains. China refines over 60% of global lithium. Wow, and 85% of rare earths. Wow, they refine basically the world's batteries, needs of the world's batteries, leveraging decades of industrial policy, while the U.S. counters with strategies like the Inflation Reduction Act. Okay, wait, this is a Biden. Policy. How old is this article? Is it giving me an old article? March 6th. Okay, that was last week. Okay, last week. That's fine. Okay, let's go back there, have a look. Finally, the article examines energy and national security perspectives. For Beijing, mineral control is a geopolitical tool, bolstered by investments in Africa and Latin America through its import dependent for raw materials. Washington prioritizes domestic production for security, while Europe and other navigate dependency amid rising economic nationalism. Resource-rich nations like Indonesia and Chile exploit this dynamic for better trade terms. So everyone is not... Yeah, so global trade, what we have learned was that why there was global trade to begin with, because the assumption is that one country would trade better with another country for some other things. So for example, you may have UK that's better at farming. France is better with making wines. Then if there's demand in UK for wines, and there is demand for France for farming, then you do an exchange like that. Okay, by right, this is the best way for trade globally. However, this doesn't fully work when global trade is very extreme, and there is no economists that talk about this. So for example, we have China at one point nearly manufacturing more than 70% of the world's consumer goods, right? Then what the economists talk about is the globalization, where the trade between different countries do not have any national security concerns or concern of the jobs of the people in that country. So academia is, I respect people in academia, but a lot of them are still using a lot of the past experiences and the theories that don't really apply in today's very fractured geopolitical world. And many of them, and then unfortunately also the Austrian school, is only talking about theory, right? I saw a newsletter recently by Austrian school that talks about why tariffs are not good. It actually hurts the country, but it doesn't really understand the intent of that. The tariff is the actual result of what the president or whoever is trying to push out that particular initiative. But the intent can be different, right? If one of the presidents in the US, I think during the time of Theodore Roosevelt, the intent was really to earn cash, earn money from tariffs, right? That was the intent there. Biden's intent on tariffs or on sanctions is to show the might of the US political power, right? And for Trump, it's not for cash. It's not to show political might, because Trump is already very, very clear on US's position. He is using it to get people to negotiate, because not many presidents are as business savvy as him to negotiate on the table. So just the talking about that particular tariff or that particular sanction without knowing the intent, you will not get the whole picture. And this is why I see most of the academia rebuttals on what Trump is doing is absolutely wrong. It's absolutely wrong. So unless they get the intent right, and then they argue understanding Trump's intent, or even Biden's intent, or Theodore Roosevelt's intent, with what they're trying to argue of the end result of a tariff or sanction, then I will be convinced. So this is what a lot of this is missing. And today, whatever Trump is doing, yes, we're going through a transition, and like he said, we can see that the stock markets are getting hit. But cutting government spending is definitely a very hard job, but if it's done, it will revolutionize how people think about economics. This then maybe later on will be in the academia that will be for discussion, because a lot of the times when we talk about austerity, I think we have heard of that term in the past decade. Europe tried that. They were cutting the austerity on the population, right? They were not doing any form of austerity as harsh as the one that Doge is doing now on the government, right? So this is very new, because government assumes that no one can cut their spending, okay? They can do what they want. This is a very rare chance for the world to see it's actually possible. It's just political. If you have enough political capital to actually go and execute it, it seems like Trump really has a lot for that to happen. So the markets are going down. We discussed that. We talked about the energy, the minerals, how the geopolitical situation. When we hear rebuttals from the economists, they don't really understand the intent. So I don't really fully buy the stories and listen to them as much. And we also talked about a bit about Libya. Also allowed me to understand what's going on there. and we look at the situation between Libya and Iraq, we can see that Iraq is definitely much more steady compared to Libya. And yeah, and when Trump, we talked about how negotiation works, and Trump is really getting most of his cards on his side of the table, right? You can see him always talking about cards, because negotiation is about that. It's about which bargaining chip do you have, which do you have an ace of spades, or do you have an ace of diamonds? Which one is more with you? Then you can negotiate with them, right? So for example, if they don't have that much time, you have time on your hands, then you just wait for them. And if they keep waiting, they don't have much time, their end of the bargaining part in the negotiations will continue to worsen. It's part of, it's basically a game. Negotiation is basically a game. And Trump is playing it very well. So yeah, so that ends my portion for today. I hope X can sort out its cyber attacks soon, because I am more reliant on Grok now than I am on ChatGPT. And as you know, X and Elon and everyone in this group is constantly under attack because of the good, in my view, the good that they're doing. So yeah, so hope everything works well. If it doesn't, I think I will continually stream on X and YouTube at the same time. After this, some of the clips I will cut and then share with people on X, and I'll also put it on YouTube as well. So for the ones at night now, have a great good night. And the ones during the day in Asia, hope you have a great day, and I'll see you in 2 days.